I want you to remember now, this is montage and not MASH, but you may get confused because with me is Mike Farrell, who plays one of the starring roles in MASH, B.J. Hunnicutt, I guess, by name. You've just finished your second season?
My second season, yes. MASH is fifth and my second, as B.J.
What was the process of you getting that, which was, I guess, a plum in the business, to get that role?
Oh, sure, yeah. Of course, plums are somehow perceived differently from different points of view. When it came up, it was a very frightening prospect because it has never been done in the history of television to successfully transplant a new actor into what was then a successful running series.
Yeah.
So I received the nod with a certain amount of trepidation. It came about just through, they called me and said, would you be interested? And I said, I'd like to talk to you about it. And we talked about the prospect of a new character as opposed to somebody playing Trapper John, which Wayne Rogers did.
Right.
And then I did a screen test with Alan to see if our chemistry was satisfactory as far as they were concerned. And
well, did they look at a lot of people?
Yeah, they looked at a great number of people, and they tested 4 of us. And I was the one that was picked, and I'm delighted about it.
What happened to the also-ran? Is he
Well, let's see. There were, of course, 3. One of the, well, I'm sure they're all working actors. One of them did a guest starring role on MASH the first season I was on. And he's an excellent actor, so I really felt good about that he was there and I was here.
MASH strikes me as being it's so fast, it's so full of clever, I don't want to use the word brilliant, but I will, brilliant lines, really.
Thank you.
Delivered so well by all of you. How much rehearsal goes into that?
Well, if you know, obviously, a lot about television and motion picture production, there isn't much rehearsal time generally. We are allowed, in a 4-day schedule, we are allowed 1 full day to read through the script, talk it over, get up on our feet and block it out in the set, and find out, what works and what doesn't and how we can fix things, so that by the end of that day, we're ready to go and start shooting directly through the scenes for the rest of the 3 days.
How far ahead is the segment completed before people see it on the air?
Roughly 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
Now, what were you doing just before that?
I was under contract at Universal Studio. I went there in '71, I guess it was, to do a series with Anthony Quinn that didn't last very long. And they wanted to keep me under contract, so I stayed there.
Is it like we hear in California, being an actor? First of all, we always hear the word struggling used in front of the word actor in California.
Well, that's part of it, certainly. It's not always the case, but it's part of it, yeah. What we hear is the overnight success, where this person just rocketed stardom from nowhere. And in my case, I've been a professional actor for almost 17 years. And people know of me for the last 2 as a result of MASH.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind about taking the MASH role? I mean, did you seriously consider not taking it if it was offered?
Once we had determined, they were in agreement that it would be a separate character, there was never any doubt in my mind. Had they wanted me to become Trapper, I wouldn't have done it.
How much of an overtone still lingers from the original concept of the book that was written by the surgeon who did serve in Korea? How much is carried over today, 1977? Even the Vietnam War is now over and trying to be forgotten.
I guess it depends on interpretation. I understand that Dr. Hooker, or that's his pen name, I don't know what his real name is, is not fond of the show, of our concept of his work. So it's a difficult question to answer. From my point of view, we were right down the line. From his point of view, evidently, there was a different intent in mind. If you're talking about people surviving in the midst of madness and how they survive, I think we're still showing that.
Did you talk about that a lot when you're doing the show, or is that?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I wonder if you get forgotten in just doing funny lines.
Oh, no. No, there's a tremendous focus, particularly in Alan's part, on trying to keep everybody concentrated on the fact that where we are, what we're doing, who we are, and that what we're doing is a direct result of this immense pressure that we're under as people.
What's the most important thing being very successful, which you are now, has done for you? How has it changed your life in the better?
Well, it gives me, MASH certainly gives me an amount of independence I perhaps didn't have before. It gives me a lot of free time. Our working schedule is compressed in such a way that I have a half year free to play with my kids. And I don't know, it gives me a particularly good feeling of well-being. I don't know beyond that.
Security.
Yeah.
Financial security. Did you have financial security before MASH?
My wife and I, my wife's an actress, and she and I made a decision years ago that I have done it all. You know, I've pumped gas and driven trucks and done all those jobs that people need to do. And the decision we made was simply that I did it before and I can do it again. So that by that, operatively, we weren't going to get caught up in that trap of needing to make $50,000, $100,000 a year. So that really doesn't bother me some. We have a nice house, we have a good family, and we have a nice life. And if my career falls apart, which I don't expect it to do, I can go back to driving a truck, you know.
But still, with that rationale and with that security, you still probably wanted the role and wanted the part.
Oh, you bet, sure. That doesn't make me want it any less. Yeah.
Well, I think we tend to equate that. Well, who cares? I don't need the part.
Oh no, no, no. I don't mean to imply that at all. I mean to say that I'm protecting myself. You know.
Right. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.